So, the Auspicious Lucky Cat artifact that we have, especially the Splendid version, seems to have changed with the Thursday morning patch, not the Thursday night patch. I noticed it yesterday and people have been talking about it, so I wanted to make sure we made a video and you guys were aware about it. They did make some quality of life changes to it so you can understand it a little better. However, there's still no icon and they changed it for the worse. This is the second time they've done something like this with a pay-to-win artifact, but the last time they did it was, I forget which one it even was. It was like a new artifact, they changed it. It kind of sucks, but let's jump right into it. Let's talk about what the change was in case you guys were planning on making a lot of them. It's still a really good artifact. It's just not as good as it was originally launched, which really sucks considering people might have gone in for it because they liked how it originally was and not now. So me personally, I'm a little annoyed they changed it. I'm kind of pissed. I've already sent feedback through the community managers to the developers. We'll see what happens. Let's jump into it and let's talk about it. So if you guys have not seen it just yet, this actually happened Thursday morning. Well, actually, let's just go to the bag and actually go to artifacts and take a look at the list of them. So the most recent artifact has been the Auspicious Lucky Cat Splendid version. Very strong, gives control immunity, HP, and all damage reduction. All very good survivable tools. It doesn't give anything offensive until it's glittery, radiant, or splendid. The regular version is just like where is it actually? Do they put it all the way down the bottom of the orange? Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So the base version is really not that amazing. It does have all damage reduction, which is better than regular damage reduction. But here let's talk about the thing. Previously, what this stated was at the beginning of battle or at the beginning of each round. And now what has changed is when releasing basic attacks or active skills, it triggers the effect. Now, that's obviously a nerf, like a big one at that, especially when you consider crowd control and the speed of teams. So number one, at beginning of the battle, it just immediately meant you got to put out 5 of these fortunes and 5 of these prosperities. Now, what are these? The fortune one grants 1 random ally 1 ingot, and prosperity grants self 1 random ingot. So that means immediately at the beginning of the battle, you have a chance to get 5 of these in a combination, which is kind of big because number one, the gold ingot, you can have 30 of each of these ingots that we're talking about here. And each of these increases owners all damage dealt by 3%. So technically you can get up to 15% all damage dealt for the first round, which is pretty big if we're talking about like using an active ability right away. Like if you consider a turn 1 Star Swordsman Mockman, this isn't going to trigger until they use an attack, which means their attack already happened and they're not getting that benefit. Whereas if it happened at the beginning of the round, they might have a bonus 15% all damage dealt, which is pretty crazy. The silver ingot, again, still stay the same. You can have 30 of them. Each reduces damage received by 15% of the owner's attack. So it's not a huge at the beginning. You can get up to what, 75% of the attack, which isn't like a huge amount if you want to compare it to like A and B. A and B does 250, but it's still a decent amount, especially if you have multiple of these on your battlefield. That means the ally ones has a higher chance of hitting more of your targets. I think still the goal is to get 6 of these, but it is an absolute huge nerf to change it from at the beginning of the battle and the beginning of every round to instead using basic or actives, because that means number one, like I previously said, if the enemy goes before you, that means you're getting 0 of these effects in round 1. The main spot that we're talking about is like, every new game mode out there that has ridiculously high speed like Void Campaign, that's the first spot where this is going to be a big issue because, well, that means you're not getting any of these bonus effects at the beginning of the round. And number 2 is if you're actually CC'd. If your hero throughout the battle is crowd controlled, that means they're not doing any of these things, whereas previously you were getting them every single round, whether they were CC'd or not. So this is a huge nerf in my opinion. It's really bad considering one of the most important game modes to potentially have it for. It's essentially irrelevant for turn 1, and most of the battles are decided based on what round 1 happens. And in round 1, in like these later chapters, you are absolutely not going to be able to do anything. Looks like a couple people have a certain dominance here beyond just Jesus in the tops here, but man, is this a difficult thing now. And yeah, it kind of turns me off from wanting to go for more of these artifacts, because the goal is to get literally 6 of these on your team so you can have a huge amount of all damage dealt and a huge amount of basically attack lowering attack stats, that would be really, really good. Now, I will say one thing that's really, really nice. Let me make sure we have them on a couple of our heroes real quick. I think I put them on. Yeah, we got them on a couple of heroes. So I'll show you guys in combat. They did make one change with this patch, which was really nice. And that is they put it on 2 of the heroes. So I'll show you guys right here. At the beginning of battle now, you won't notice anything. There's nothing popping up on these heroes. God, I hope I don't one-shot the entire team. So you'll see here, once they use their attacks, you can see we get an icon of a gold and a silver ingot. The problem is over their head, they don't have any indication that they have this splendid artifact equipped. And that's something that every other artifact almost has in the game. I mean, you take a look at like any of the artifacts in the game. You put, I mean, again, you put Betty in this. You'll notice immediately Betty has a mirror over her head, floating above her head to let you and the enemy know what splendid artifact is equipped on this hero. And these do not have anything. So that alone kind of sucks, that there's no indicator that there's something on it. Granted, when they use a basic or an active attack, it works out anyway because you see them pop up across the team. However, the fact that they come much later now is weird because, I mean, we can speed it up here. God, she's gonna beat everything. You can see how they get like spread out and how some of them only get one. You see like we have silver ingot here, we have gold ingot here. Aspen didn't get hit with any of them whatsoever. It's kind of how it works out in this scenario. So we can do this right here. I can show you guys a little bit more how they pop up. But again, it's all based on them using a basic or an active. Right there, she used a basic. She got silver and gold. He got silver and gold. She got gold from their 2 basic attacks. But the other thing is there's nothing to show you exactly how many stacks of it they have either. Because remember, there's a lot of potential stacks here. And if you don't know how many you have, it's kind of pointless because there's up to 30. And you just get an icon for one little floating ingot on them. So I have a lot of complaints about this. It launched, to be honest, I don't know if I would have gone all in on the event personally if I knew this is how the artifact was going to perform. I mean, it's simple as that, even for me. Like, the whole point that I went all in on this is so I could build 2 of these right off the bat and start my way to 6, whereas now they are of very much less value. Because a lot of game modes, you need this immediate 75% all damage reduction, well, 25% here, and then the 50% that lowers down over 5 rounds. It's much more important because the whole idea was, oh, if you have 6 of these at the very beginning in the round, you're going to get your base 24%, which is about the same as a golden crown. You get some control immunity, which is helpful, but then you're also building up these A and B stacks, essentially, these Augustus Magic Ball-like effects across your whole team based on how many silver ingots go on the heroes. So I'm pretty pissed. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what your guys' opinion is. It's kind of slimy. I don't know why. There wasn't even any justification or reason. It just changed. They didn't mention it or anything. No notes, no nothing. I hate it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. See, I can be negative sometimes. I can be negative. But it felt like a waste of money at this point. But hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what your guys' feedback is. Leave a comment down below. I'm going to link this video to the community managers and the development team. So leave constructive feedback. Don't be too mean, but be like, I'm mad. See you guys next time.